I'm Commissioner Sean Tindell with the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety oversees 11 different divisions, including the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. In 2022, legislation was passed that required the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation to investigate all officer-involved shootings in the state of Mississippi. As part of that legislation, once that investigation is complete, our files are turned over to the Mississippi Attorney General's office, and they will review and make a determination as to whether or not to present that case to a grand jury and whether or not that trial against any officers would proceed after that point. This was done to bring independence to the process, one where the public could trust the process knowing that it was independent from local agencies. Mississippi Bureau of Investigation policy now dictates that once that investigation is complete, our entire file, as well as any evidence collected, body cam footage, dash cam footage, surveillance footage, will also be available to the public as part of a public records request. The purpose for that is because we believe that transparency creates accountability, and with accountability, we're able to maintain the public trust. Those policies and procedures will be followed in this case as well. To make no mistake, this is a very tragic situation. I want the public to be assured that the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation will conduct its independent investigation. We have 5 agents working on this case, gathering statements, gathering evidence, and working diligently to prepare a file to present to the AG's office. I would ask that the public maintain patience as much as possible, and I know this is a very frustrating time, but maintain patience as this process is done. And keep in mind that it's important for us to be able to interview witnesses without threat of intimidation. And one of the things that we don't want to have is witnesses that are afraid to come forward out of intimidation. So it's important that we keep civility during this process so that we can get to the bottom of it and we can analyze all the evidence and then ultimately make it available to you all. And again, I understand your frustration. Unfortunately, these incidences have occurred all over the state of Mississippi. And over the last several years, MBI has done numerous investigations. And in all those cases, the ultimate findings were made available to the public. And so I want you to be assured that it will be a thorough investigation and it will be one where transparency is there. I'll be glad to answer any questions from the media first, if there are any that you might have about the process. I will not get into the details of the investigation. I would have everybody keep in mind, this just occurred about 48 hours ago, so it's still a very, very new investigation.
I'm Rob Sneed with Fox 13 News. Question about the actual body cam video. When is that expected to be released? A lot of people keep asking about that. I know that there's a process, but is there a time frame?
The way that we've handled it in the last 4 years is we will release that once that investigation is complete. And once that part of the process is done, if you think about any other criminal case, we never release evidence before that time. So we try to treat this the same. We also want to make sure that all witnesses that come forward do it to the best of their recollection. And sometimes when you release that evidence early, witnesses don't want to come forward because they feel like the case is closed at that point. And we feel like it's the best policy to do that once the investigation is complete.
Raven Copeland with Channel 3. Raven Copeland with Channel 3. Raven Copeland with Channel 3. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me how many videos you suspect you have of gun Walmart?
Can't hear you, sir.
He's asking about the different types of video that we expect are available. We always retrieve any body cam footage, dash cam footage. Of course, this happened at a Walmart, and Walmart does have a highly sophisticated level of security cameras and systems, and we will work with Walmart to make sure that we obtain every piece of evidence that they have as far as security footage.
Raven Copeland with Channel 3. What's the status of the officer involved in this shooting? Is he placed on suspension, on leave? Are there calls for him to be fired? What's the latest with that?
Well, I can tell you again, we conduct the officer-involved shooting part of the investigation. Each agency in the state, when these incidents happen, have an opportunity to do their own internal affairs investigation, internal analysis of what happens, and ultimately make those decisions. I can tell you it's very, very routine, and it would be quite unusual that an officer after an incident like this would not be put on some sort of administrative leave, at least for a short amount of time, but often for an extended amount of time.
There's information online talking about this officer's past, saying that he had a kind of a shady past. Is there anything you can kind of clear up or elaborate on it concerning the officer and his history with the public at various jobs?
Not that we would have. I mean, I can tell you the Board of Law Enforcement Officer Standards and Training is housed at the Department of Public Safety. They oversee the certificates of officers. Reviewing this officer's history, there's nothing in the file that would indicate any such problems.
Paula Burris, community activist out of Memphis, Tennessee. On this day, in the time leading up to this incident, has anyone been arrested or has there been a police report made for shoplifting?
I'm not going to, again, get into any specifics of the investigation at this point. That's all part of the ongoing investigation. I can tell you NBI is conducting that as well as getting witness statements, and so I cannot answer that at this point.
Are you able to speak to the policy that officers follow when it comes to pursuing an alleged shoplifter or any type of crime? What is that policy?
And again, that is something department by department that is established. And just to give you an example, we oversee 900 law enforcement officers at the Department of Public Safety, the largest of which is the Highway Patrol. The Highway Patrol might have a different pursuit policy than Jackson PD, for example.
What is this pursuit policy for this scene?
I don't know the pursuit policy for here in Senatobia, and I can tell you that's also one of the things that a policy violation would be much different than a criminal or violation, and one in which we would really be taking a deep analysis of, but we will look at that. And it's one of those things that across the board it takes time. Again, this happened on Sunday. We got to gather a lot of that evidence, and it doesn't just happen as quick as everybody wants it to. I understand that, but I cannot allow expediency to overtake the quality of the work that we're expected to do in these types of cases.
What would you say to the public to reassure them? Because a lot of them obviously are angry today, or passionate, upset, hurt. There's a lot of feeling. So what is the direct message you would have to
Why
them?
y'all keep lynching us in our babies?
Again, and I understand the frustrations. I mean, I've seen this happen in other communities across the state. That's why I'm here. Is to answer these types of questions so that everybody can understand the process that we're going through. And again, understand that our goal is to ultimately be transparent in our investigation so that everybody can take a look at that. And if the wrong conclusions ultimately reached, then those decisions will be looked at and reviewed and scrutinized by the public. And that's how transparency creates accountability.
Sir, can you give us your name and your title again?
Sure. My name is Sean Tindell, Commissioner of the Mississippi Department of Public Safety. It's spelled S-E-A-N, last name Tindell, T-I-N-D-E-L-L.
When can we expect another update from you and your department?
Give it time. We'll see as the situation evolves. There might be an additional update. There might not be any. I can't tell you. We're going to see how the investigation is proceeding.
You'll let us know if there's not going to be any more updates, won't you?
It's not. They don't have a policy. They just kill the black people. That's it. Ain't no
You should come out and let us know
Ain't no
that you
policy.
won't be putting out any
They
more
don't have a
updates,
policy.
so that we don't think that you're ignoring us.
Ma'am,
You want to keep the violence down, right?
well, listen.
They don't have a policy.
Just make a statement.
No, I'm going to tell
Whenever
you.
you're not going to investigate anymore or make any more. No, ma'am, nothing.
I'm going to tell you.
You want violence
I'm going to give an update if there's something.
Non-violent. You need to tell the people every step in your investigation. If you're not going to say anything else to the public, it would be nice to know that.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say anything else.
Not today. I mean, when you make
Any
that
other
decision.
questions? Any other questions?
Don't sit there and be quiet. I'm done with this bullshit.
How long did the
I'm going to Walmart because I'm having a Walmart.
I've been in contact with the Attorney General's office, and I can tell you that we're going to try to work on this as quickly as we can, because we do understand the importance for this community. But we also, again, I do not want expediency to be done at the expense of the quality of the investigation.
I understand that all things considered, the depth of the situation, a young child.
It's very tragic.
Very
It's
much
heartbreaking.
so.
Will this be made a priority?
For the families,
It is a priority. It's an absolute priority.
for the relief of the families. Yeah.
And I will say this to that end. We have an incident assistance coordinator that has been in contact with their attorney, trying to make sure that from their perspective they have contact with our agency so that they too understand the process and the independence of this process. That's why we also reach out to the families in this situation that have had a loved one impacted by that particular interaction. Yes, ma'am.
As far as city council members, can you speak on that?
No, ma'am. That is what they do, and what we do is investigate from the state level. So, any other questions? Okay. Thank y'all. God bless.